but it's finally here, the Rush movie premiere in Leicester Square. The guest list is incredible. We've got celebrities, Formula One drivers, former Formula One drivers, and of course the actors Chris Hemsworth and Daniel Bruhl, bringing the F1 World Championship from 1976 to life. And I'm going to try and speak to as many of them as possible. So you're looking forward to seeing it tonight then?
Oh yeah, we're all very, very excited. It's the real hardliners, I suppose, are going to think, oh, well, that's not quite right now. But it's entertainment, it's Hollywood, brilliant.
You're going to see the film tonight. If they were going to make a film about, for example, you and Lewis, who would you like to play you?
Me.
You'd like to star yourself?
Well, I'm not an actor, but I know how to play me. I'm probably the best person to play me, so it's probably me, to be fair.
I think you're actually a very good actor.
Really? Oh, really? Not as good as you. I think you were much better last thing we did.
Enjoy the film.
Thank you. Cheers.
What an amazing reception. Here in Leicester Square, name in lights. You've been waiting for it.
This is a kind of premiere that generally happens for a James Bond film, but no other type of film. So, of course, Formula One's a huge sport. It's McLaren's 50th anniversary this year, so we've really gone to town, and McLaren have brought the cars in. Niki Lauda's here, who's, actually, as you know, the movie's about him and James Hunt, so that's very exciting.
James is a cultural icon in our country. I mean, he's one of our sort of great Brits. I think people always love James, still love him, don't they?
What do you think? What do you think James would have? Woo! What do you think James would have thought of something like this, a film?
I think he'd be thrilled to bits. I can tell you, you're going to interview Niki, I'm sure, in a minute. He was deeply moved by the film and a little nervous when we started off saying we were going to make it, but he agreed to us to make it. When he saw it, he was deeply moved.
Who's that?
It's Niki Lauda. He's just been signed by Ferrari.
I'm both quicker than you and better at setting up the car.
When you were sort of watching James Hunt, Niki Lauda play out, what are you expecting from the film?
Well, I'm expecting some not so good images of wheel-to-wheel racing because we get spoiled with real imagery every weekend going to the Grand Prix. But what I'm hoping more than that is to really understand the rivalry, understand the personalities, see how the story is told from an amazing period. Incredible Niki survived the accident, incredible that he was brave enough, stroke stupid enough to come back so quickly. And then those images of the real-life images of Niki pulling off the race in Japan, James being told he won the championship and he's not quite sure. I'm looking forward to how all that's told in the movie.
Now you're a bit of a hunky 6'3", am I guessing? F1 drivers are usually a little bit smaller. Did you have trouble squeezing into that little chassis?
I did, much the way James had a lot of trouble. James is 6'2", I think, and a similar size to the weight I got down to for the film, and often used to complain about the car feeling too tight and trying to adjust the seat constantly, and it was a squeeze. It wasn't the most comfortable place to sit in.
That 76 season was such an iconic year with two great characters that I think Ron has probably done a wonderful job with this film. It's going to be great to see.
Just to be able to play a supermodel in the 70s in London was just that was amazing. I mean, it's kind of a fantasy. And to be able to be a part of Ron's film, written by the amazing Peter Morgan and co-starring with the very ugly Chris Hemsworth.
Hunt, James Hunt. I had a friendly disagreement with another driver about his wife.
Why? What did you do?
Be happy to show you if you like.
You've absolutely nailed the accent.
Well, I hope so. I mean, Niki's very undiplomatic, as you will see in the movie, so it's a big relief for me that he's happy with it. And some people said it sounded like if I had dubbed him, which is a huge compliment. So, yeah.
You spent some time with him at his house. What was the funniest thing that happened while you were hanging out with Niki Lauda?
So many things. The first conversation we had on the phone was already quite funny. Because he called me at 6 o'clock in the morning saying, well, I guess we have to meet now. And I said, yes, that would be great. Well, just bring hand luggage to Vienna. In case we don't like each other, you can piss off right away. And I thought, oh, well, that's pretty undiplomatic. And then I went to Vienna. Unfortunately, I had to buy some extra clothes because I stayed longer than expected.
Watching you win those races, you were equally responsible for getting me back in the car.
What an exciting evening. Are you proud to have such an amazing film for everyone to see tonight?
I'm amazed. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. But I've been part of the movie telling everybody what to do. Peter Morgan when he wrote the script and then Ron Howard. But let's see the audience. How do they react? This is the most important.
And you spent a lot of time with Daniel. He's got you to a T, everybody's saying. How was that, playing back that 1976 championship for you?
He played an incredible job because as a German to speak Austrian is tough. To speak my way of English is even more difficult. but he did an incredible job. When I see him on the screen, I think it's me.
Today with the rain, it's the most dangerous track in the world.
That all depends on how good you are in the rain. Let's race.
What was the biggest challenge about making this film?
I think the combination of really sophisticated, complex characters, and and to get them right, that's part of the entertainment value of the movie. That's part of the fun of it, the excitement, the emotion, and then to try to get the Formula One to be intense, real, visceral, and make these two qualities link up in a seamless way for audiences.
And what's the sequel going to be? There's got to be another one from Ron Howard.
I'm not aware of any sequel possibilities, although you could. If you just focused on either one of these guys, you could do hours and hours of brilliant television, about them. And there are probably a lot of other great stories in Formula One as well.
What an incredible evening for the Rush premiere here in Leicester Square. We've seen the celebrities, we've seen F1 drivers, we've seen David Hasselhoff, and they've all headed in now to watch the film. We are going to be having so much more content about Rush up on the channel, so keep an eye out. We're going to have a behind-the-scenes documentary with James Hunt's mechanics, so make sure you subscribe to Pole Position so you don't miss out.
Let's race.
And it was just him and Nicky, really.
The showdown between you and Nicky is all anyone wants to see.
I feel responsible for what happened.
Watching your Windows